Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Monday. Red Bull, anybody? Off to another great week. Okay, guys and gals, what the hell is going on with the world right now? Everything else is down. Except oil, of course. Hodl the oil. We have a world that's moving into and is in World War III right now. Whether you know it or not, we're in World War III. World War III is not going to look like World War II. We aren't going to have a bunch of troops hopping off of a ship on to a beach and raiding the beach. This is the war of drones. This is the war of long-range rockets. We have rockets that we can hit a precise area within like 1,000 or 2,000 miles away from the target. You don't have to invade a country no more. So we're in World War III. Yay for us. Way to fucking go, global elite. Thanks again for that. And no one knows what the fuck is really going on. Not only do we have World War III, we have the World War on labor and World War on intelligence. This is involved in this. Remember, guys, this war, this isn't just, hey, we're trying to kind of get Iran out of the nuclear business and all that. No, that's all bullshit. Now, that may be what they're saying it's for. This is a war for the future. This is the war for AI. This is the war for robots. This is the war that is going to reshape the world and prepare it for this new world. Remember, World War I was the global reorganization preparing for the new world, which will be led through the industry, because we were producing machines that were replacing humans. We're doing that again. And the elites, because they think they know better, they are preparing the world for the new world. This is what they do. This is what the Civil War was about. This is what every revolution is preceded, or every advancement, major advancement in the world is preceded by a war. Because the elites, they feel they have to prepare for this new world so that they control it. That's what the Revolutionary War in America was for, to prepare America for the industrial revolution. See, they say, well, the Civil War was about slavery. Damn it, we was trying to, we were going to free some people. Bullshit. What it was the technology advancement in the machines and all that was going to eliminate a lot of the jobs that the slaves actually did. So they knew they didn't really need the slaves' labor as much as they had. So what they needed to do, and they took the excuse of, we're trying to free everybody, took the excuse of freeing people, because that's what they're going to do now. They are going to shape this as we're going to free the people from labor. Okay, that sounds great. We are going to free you from working 80 hours a week or 40 hours a week. We're going to free you, because since the Civil War, and especially 1913, once they got Reconstruction taken care of, they enslaved us. They enslaved us in a new system, the central banking system. And we have actually been the robots in that system, labor, as they call us. Well, now with AI and robotics, you're replacing labor and intelligence. But they're going to shape it like, oh, we're going to free you. You will be freer than ever. We're going to issue you some money. See, this has been a long time plan, because in the old days, people valued real world assets like land, like gold, like silver, real world assets. Well, after 1913 and because of 1929, they slowly evolved the human perception of value. We moved from real assets to these new little paper dollars that we got. Everyone chasing the dollar. Everyone chasing the dollar. Well, it's where we are now is our world, our fucking country. Look at America. Look at what happened in Florida this weekend at the spring break. Guys, we have not progressed. We have regressed, because what is required to have progress? You have to learn. You have to work hard. You have to fail. You have to have some hard times. That's how you learn how to become a better person or an entrepreneur. That's how you improve, is failing, because you learn what not to do, and then you don't do that anymore. Then you succeed a little bit more, then you fail, then you succeed, then you fail, then you succeed. That's how, well, there, 2008, we didn't let the banks fail. We've never let anything truly fail. And when I say anything, well, any large corporation that has enough money where they can actually buy off the politicians, i.e. the banks. That's where we're at now, is they're moving us into this new system. Now, those of you watching who are involved in the Bitcoin, you're ahead of the system. You're ahead of the system they're creating. A lot of us have known this is where it's going. This is the new economy. So when you replace labor, because what's the new commodity? If you're replacing labor with AI and robots, what is the value? What now shifts to the value? Human attention. Human attention is being monetized. It's what YouTube is. It's what X is. Why do you think X and YouTube actually pay people who put on shows on YouTube, or they have a lot of reach on X? It's human attention. And that's where this is all going, because as soon as your labor is no longer needed, it shifts to your attention is the valued asset that everyone wants. And that attention has to be monetized. But when you cannot set up the system on the fiat dollar, it doesn't work. You have to have a unit of exchange and a store of value. It has to, you have to have those. Well, we have that in the Bitcoin. It's both of them. Yes. All right. Someone's asking, universal basic income? For now, yes. But in the future, mark my words, it will be universal Bitcoin income. Because in the future, only two things will be at the base of the global economy, and that's pure energy and human attention. That's it. Everything else will actually be built on top of that. Because right now, it's oil. That's going away because we're slowly shifting into a global economy that is based on pure energy, electrons. All right. Or, well, let's say joules of energy. That's an easier way to kind of wrap your head around it. Because remember, energy, electricity is just a frequency. It's a very concentrated frequency. It's just like sound. It's just like light, except it's more concentrated and at a frequency. That pure energy will be at the lowest production level of all industries. Now, once you're producing everything out of pure energy, and what you're reaching for is human attention. Whether you own a resort, whether you have a YouTube show, whether you have hats or whatever, it's all human attention. And now the problem they're having is the human attention is completely decentralized. You can no longer run an ad on Channel 5 and really actually get everyone in that area's attention, because not that many people watch Channel 5 News at 8 o'clock in the morning anymore. They're losing their hold. So they're shifting to YouTube and X, and they're looking for their clients. Where are my clients? Well, we have a decentralized world now where, let's say, you sell hunting goods. You're going to run ads on shows about hunting, but you have several different platforms you can do it. You can do YouTube, you can do Rumble, you can do X. There's a ton of platforms. And this is completely decentralizing Hollywood and the entertainment system. I'm trying to remember the name. I saw it on X. There was a Hollywood actor who just released a soft drink. And he was at like a Walmart or like a Costco or something. And he was promoting his new soft drink. No one knew who the fuck he was. Everyone was like walking by him. And yes, thank you. Exactly, Mr. Ben Stiller. I don't think I watched any of his movies. I've heard of him, but I don't think I watched any of his movies. But he's at friggin' Costco because he has a new soft drink out. And no one's paying attention to it. Nobody. I mean, people are just walking by like, why is this guy in front of this? Like, probably, especially if you're at Costco, probably people are looking for free samples, because that's what my dad used to do. My dad used to love fucking going to Sam's and just walk around for all of the free samples. I guess he wasn't handing out no free samples. Way to go, Ben Stiller. This new world will eventually be relatively good. And I do say relatively, because it's not going to be good for everybody. And really, it's what do you think is good? Because work is not going to be what it used to be. And that's what has me worried. Work will be working for attention. And that's never good with humans. Because humans, we have egos. And we rely on our egos to kind of validate us. Well, I think that there's going to be a lot of people in the future who are not going to make it, because we're moving to a world where you got to have attention. I mean, you have your phone, you have to record yourself having a good time with your friends, so everyone else, they think you're happy when really you're just totally fucking miserable. you really gotta play this very realistically, because humans are not ready for this world. We are not made for this world that we're moving into, which sounds really bad because it is really bad. Hang on one second. We have breaking news. Speaking of attention and work, I have huge announcements in the next couple days on Circle, video meetings, and here on the Bitcoin Ben Show. Stay tuned. Very exciting. Yes, my boy. Yes, my boy. Yes, my boy. A world where we don't need people, a world where we don't need people, we don't need them. Well, that kind of depends on what you mean by need. It's more one. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you enjoy hanging out with large groups of people. Yeah. It seems like, and maybe this is just like my age, it seems like humans are getting less real life social and more digital social, where we don't really, we're kind of socializing, but we're not. It's a crazy world that we're moving into and that we're in. And we have everything at once. Everything at once. So now that the world is changing and how the economy is changing, the money has to change. Yes, humans will feel like they're not needed. And look at Canada. They have assisted suicides. Here in America, I think Colorado, California, all of the liberal states will help you kill yourself. Gee, I wonder if those are also where it's legal to have an abortion anytime you want. I'm just saying. If you want to die, go to Illinois, go to Colorado. It's how do we deal with this as people? That's the question, is where do we get our value? Because in the old days, it was all social. You had your friends, you had your jobs, you had your friends at work, you had your friends off work, you had your friends everywhere. And now, do you really have that many close friends? Do you hang out with your neighbors? Do you know your neighbors? Do you walk over and have a barbecue with them? Do you hang out and get drunk on Friday night with them? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm not seeing it so much no more. And that might just be me. But as for the Bitcoin, we are going to run out. And when I say run out, I don't mean there won't be any Bitcoin available, but it it will be at a much higher price. All right, we have Michael Saylor. This guy is sucking up fucking all of the Bitcoin that he can right now. Look at this. 22,337 Bitcoin in 1 week. 22,337 Bitcoin. Now, mind you, he could have bought more, but he actually put a chunk of money aside in cash for paying out his interest. Word is, he probably could have actually bought about 32,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. That's 1 week. And every week he buys more because now he's in this wheel of growth. And every week he'll actually buy more and more. And remember, he's not even in the S&P 500 yet. Once he's in there, it's a whole different world, because then that's trillions of dollars of allocated money every week. That's your 401ks. That's your hedge funds. That's up. Once he's in the S&P 500, it's off to the races, and he's already off to the races. And it isn't just him. There's a ton of other companies, from what I hear, that are launching exactly what he's doing. High interest rate yields on a structured security that pays you a yield, and it buys Bitcoin. Now, that means you'll have yield competition. He's blowing away any of the bonds. Right? The highest bond available right now that's even remotely has a fucking chance is a local bond, or a muni bond, as they call them, municipality bond. The highest ones at like 7.5 or 8%. And that's like a 4-year bond. His is a perpetual bond, a perpetual bond, which means it just keeps going. It just keeps going until you sell it. This is incredible. And like I said, there's more coming out. This is the new model for the future. This is how the bond market will be. Because you have to remember, right now, we live in an economic system and a monetary system. Oh, hang on 1 second. Word from the sponsor.
Ever wondered how safe your online activities really are? How secure is your digital footprint? In the vast realm of the internet, privacy and security are paramount. Without adequate protection, your personal data might be at risk. There are solutions to these issues, and today we're going to talk about 2 of them. Introducing Liberty laptops from Calyx Solutions. These cutting-edge devices are meticulously designed to bolster online privacy, providing you the liberty to surf the internet incognito. The World Wide Web can be a wild frontier, but with Liberty Laptops, your online privacy is always protected. We also present you crypto laptops, designed with cryptocurrency users in mind. Equipped to support a myriad of wallets and exchanges, these laptops are tailored for seamless cryptocurrency transactions. They offer enhanced security protocols to keep your digital assets safe. Crypto laptops ensures a secure and smooth cryptocurrency experience. It's time to take control of your online privacy and security. Venture over to Calyx Solutions and explore our Liberty laptops and crypto laptops. Don't forget, our affiliate program lets you earn $50 per sale. Visit calyxsolutions.io now or call 7028458276 for more information, because your online safety is our priority.
All right, hang on one second. I want to play this real quick because I don't think that people realize what is coming. Now, you guys have heard me explain how AI agents and all of that good stuff. I don't think people realize that these AI agents are going to, they're shopping now. There was a story out there where an AI agent actually purchased a robot dog. Some of you may have seen them. They're out there. The AI agent actually purchased the dog, then linked with the dog, which is a robot, through Wi-Fi, and now the agent lives inside the dog. Let that sink in for a second. Right now, there's an AI agent that occupies, or shall we say, has possessed the robot dog. That's hey yo Ben, it's all over Telegram that banks are closing. Any truth to this? You know, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. But let me show you guys something. This is what AI is. And remember, when you hear AI agents, I want you to think unlimited population. Remember, every agent is replacing a human, or at least performing an action that a human could do. So in reality, it's like an artificial human action. There's no limit on how many agents can exist. Remember, for all of human history, any advancement that we've had was human sourced. So some human came up with an idea, and then we produced it using other humans' labor, and voila, voila, voila. Now we have AI agents, and we're about to have robots. And this is unlimited labor population. Let that sink in. Unlimited, because we can just make more. We don't have the economy. That's why you hear people freaking out like, oh, the birth rate in America is so low. Why is that? Labor replacement and social security replacement human replacement. Humans, forever, we've lived a while, then we've died. We had some kids, they lived a while, then they died. They had some kids, they lived a while, then they died. Well, number one, you can create an unlimited number of agents, and they don't die. An agent doesn't have, and it's not going to die. And even if it does, you have another agent. So basically we have unlimited economic actors. Look at it like that. We now can create unlimited labor. Unlimited, that's always actually been part of the formula of price, is labor. One of your largest costs as a company is labor. What happens when labor is no longer really even a cost? What happens whenever, I think I told you guys on Friday, we have one guy who launched one fucking company, and he had like 8 or 9 agents working for him. He went from 0 to $3 million in profit in 3 weeks. From 0 to $3 million in profit. He doesn't have employees. He has agents. That's it. No employees. Just agents. Now, the reason I bring this up is Visa, MasterCard, the banks. I mean, the banks are now suing the Federal Reserve because they gave a license to Kraken. And the banks are like, no, wait, you can't do that. You can't give a license to a crypto company through the Federal Reserve. Guys, they're dying. They know it. They're done because Visa, MasterCard, all of that slippage, because that's how they make their money, on interest rates, slippage or flows, and the fees. Well, they know that all goes away and now we have AIs. Remember, these AIs are already exchanging money. And the AIs, they don't want to use Visa. They can't open a checking account, but they can launch a wallet. Because a wallet is just a digital wallet. An agent can launch an Exodus wallet. Easy. It's software. Now, I want you to listen to this.
Everyone is starting from 0 on agentic payments. So I think, going forward a number of months to multiple years, but a number of months really, people are going to start using these tools to buy things. And this isn't, whether you think AI is like, ASI and like super intelligence is coming soon, or whether you think it's, just a sycophant that repeats what you tell it and doesn't really add all that much. No matter what you think, the reality is that these tools are very capable of just saying like, hey, I need to up my beef tallow. I'm running low on beef tallow. Can you ship me some more? And it can go off and do it, and you don't have to think about it, right? And so I think that's going to be a genuinely non-trivial part of total consumer spend in the world in not very long, not tomorrow, but in a few months, people are going to start building out all these tools and start having all these tools. And then in some number of years, they're going to be very popular for buying things. But none of the existing payment flows work for this. So you can't, Visa's not really going to work here. So for multiple reasons. First of all, most websites that offer things for sale with credit cards are anti-botted to fuck. Like, they have captchas, they detect bots, they try to prevent bots because that's part of how they fight fraud. And they're responsible for fraud because of chargebacks and the way Visa and MasterCard are structured. And so they're not, you can't use these existing websites to buy things if you're an agent, if you are a bot. And so they need to build something new. They need to restructure the way chargebacks work. So it's not just Visa, it's a whole new Visa, what do they call it? Intelligent commerce platform. And on the flip side, the stablecoin people are trying to push stablecoins, but that also similarly, there's no merchants who support stablecoins yet. That's a whole new integration point for merchants. So everyone's starting at zero. For all of Bitcoin's life, Bitcoin payments certainly weren't really 10x better than whatever people had access to. There's things where Bitcoin was 10x better. Maybe it's 10x better at savings. Maybe it's 10x better at some cross-border setups. Maybe it's 10x better at settlement, whatever. But it certainly wasn't 10x better at just domestic payments. And so, we struggled to get over the line, right? The classic adage in Silicon Valley is that people don't switch from one product to another unless the other product that they're switching to is 10x better. If it's a little better, some people might try it, but you won't get that kind of critical mass. You won't get the switch, especially for things that are very network effect dominated, like payments. For agentic payments, everyone's starting from zero. And so we have a shot to actually build something that people use. Like, the race is starting now. There's 3 or 4 or 5 different competing standards now being pushed by various payment companies, AI labs, whatever. And we need to be a part of that fight. We might not win, but if we stay in that race, we will get from fairly low to really material merchant adoption, and Bitcoin will be a actually usable option for payments.
Absolutely. And the reason that this is important is because we are moving to a place where the agents are going to choose what they use. Now, agents are just like humans. They move on efficiency, ease of use, and efficiency. Now, we have agents that are running companies, like that one guy. That one guy has a lot of agents running the company. He just kind of gives it kind of the direction he wants it to go. And the agents actually do everything. Well, what happens whenever the agent realizes, oh, these are stable coins, they're centralized, so they can kind of reverse the fucking transaction. They'll see that as a threat. This is where cryptos, decentralized, and one that I think is going to do really good is Litecoin, because Litecoin was made for this shit because of the language it uses, which is script, very simple, very light language. That's why it's called Litecoin. And it is, like the Bitcoin, it's completely decentralized. Unlike XRP, that's centralized because they have a certain group that authenticate and validate. Litecoin doesn't. It's completely decentralized. And you also got Bitcoin. And we have the ability to send the Bitcoin or the Litecoin, or even, hell, I don't know, something like Doge or something like that. All right. This will advance, and the agents will move and choose the decentralized option, just like humans. This is such a huge friggin' deal because this is a whole new system. Now, the old system, the banks, they're trying to squeeze their way in. They're trying to use legislation and the law as a moat. Problem is, there is no moat because you don't have an enforcement arm. You cannot reach out and say, oh, you can't send that Bitcoin if it's in your private wallet. Now, if you're on Coinbase, oh, hell yeah, they can freeze your payment. They can freeze all that shit. But if you run your own node, or you have a wallet that isn't centralized and has no link with the wallet creators, like they can't reverse your wallet, they have no way to enforce this. None, especially with agents. Guys, think about this. How is the IRS going to go after an agent? Hey, agent, did you pay your taxes on that Bitcoin? Excuse me, Mr. Agent. How the fuck are they going to get a hold of an agent? And we have technology that's coming out with decentralized agents. We already have it. If you run your own hardware at home and your agent is local and you set it up on a VPN, guess what? They don't know where the fuck that agent's from. It could be from Germany or Italy or France or fucking wherever. This war, this World War III, is a war over who's going to control the new system. But what's stupid is they think they can control the new system. The new system is uncontrollable. But yet we have elites over here arguing over who's not going to control the new system. Because as World War III progresses here, the people, more and more, you hear more and more people going, yeah, why don't you fuck off? And they mean both sides. Hey, elites over here, fuck off. Hey, elites over there, fuck off. Because now we have the technology to tell them to fuck off. We don't even have to tell them. We just have. This is not going the way of the elites. Remember, the elites are only the elites because of the system. Most of these elites, if they didn't have the system, they'd be sucking dick on Broadway. These are not strong people. These are not our betters. They rely on the system to create the illusion that they're elites, when really they're just a bunch of fucking retards who have a massive ego problem. And they're above the law. The law is for the little people, not the big people, because let me ask, here, I'll prove it. Can I actually build a nuclear weapon? If I could I legally build a nuclear weapon? No, that's against the law. but yet a country can, or Washington, D.C. can, or Russia can. But there's laws that I can't. Why? Because they don't trust me. Oh, Ben, you can't be trusted with a nuclear weapon. That's too much power. Oh, but you can, motherfucker? No. The law's just an illusion. It's the illusion they lay over the system, because the law is a security blanket. It's a ceiling. Only the little people hit that ceiling. Anyone above that, there's no law ceiling. They're the lawmakers, not the law restricted people. All right? That system's going away. That system is absolutely going away. Now, is it going to be an easy transition? Fuck no. The elites are going to do what elites do. Last night, I watched a movie called Oppenheimer. I hadn't ever watched it. I figure, all right, I better watch it. That shows you right there. All right? If Mr. Bitcoin Ben, if I blew up a whole city and I killed hundreds of thousands of people, I'd be arrested, I'd be hung, I'd be what the fuck ever. But you get a group of elites together, and all of a sudden, blowing up a couple of 100,000 people is just a strategic move. Because each government wants its system. See, we aren't at war. There's no one watching this right now who's planning as soon as the show's over, they're going to pack their bags and they're going to go over to Iran, because they're so pissed off at Iran that they're just going to pack their bags and go over, and they're going to go fight Iran. Not a motherfucker saying that right now. Who is? Oh, the elites. Yeah, you know why? Because it's the elites versus the elites. We're just the weapons. We're just the fodder. We're just the pawns. And if it reaches a point where there's too many of us being killed, it doesn't look good for the elites. Oh, there's too many people dying. Well, how many's too many? And what the fuck are we fighting for? This is not our war. No war has been our war. Vietnam, was that our war? Korea, was that our war? No. World War II, was that our war? No. World War I, was that our war? No. War is not for the people. All right, we aren't blowing up Iran to hang on to our freedoms. The biggest threat to our freedoms isn't Iran, it's Washington, D.C. Because Iran has never sent me a tax bill. Iran has never wrote a law saying, hey, Mr. Bitcoin Ben, you can't do this or you can't do that. Iran has never affected my fucking daily life. I have never left my house, had an officer from Iran fucking get behind me, and then me look down and make sure I'm using my turn signal, slowing down, making sure I'm under the speed limit, making, oh shit, do I have my driver's license on me? Oh, do I have my proof of insurance? Are my license plates renewed? I've never seen a Iran police officer right fucking behind me. This is who funded the Civil War. It was the European banks. That's who funded, and France. Do you know why? Because they wanted to implement their system on us. That's what the Civil War was all about, was implementing the European banking structure into America. That's what the Civil War was about. Had nothing to do with freeing slaves. In fact, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, the Civil War didn't free anybody. It enslaved us all. Because after the Civil War, they implemented, guess what they started to implement? Birth certificates. That's the key. The key is identity. They needed to register you with the federal government. And that's what they started doing. That's what the Civil War was all about. Setting up a system to register you as a citizen. Now, their marketing fucking campaign was join the franchise. Look it up. Type in Civil War and individual franchise. Read up on that shit. You are a franchise of the federal government, which means you are the property. You are a corporation. You are a subsidiary of the federal corporation. That's why you have a birth certificate. That's your title. Just like a car, just like a truck, just like a boat, they've set up a system which has changed human individual rights into civil rights, which civil rights are just a fancy name for corporate privileges. That's it. And this system is going to fuck because we have the technology that we don't need the system anymore. We don't. We don't technologically need the system. We don't need their ledgers anymore. We don't need the governments to actually act as the record of the public. We now have public records, which are known as blockchains. This is the best of times, but we got to go through the worst of times because the elites are going to fight their war, and they're going to try and roll out their system and all that. And some dumbasses are going to roll right into the system. But I think about 40% of the world is going to tell the systems to fuck off. And then there's going to be, and is right now, a global war against the individuals. That's what's going on over in Europe. They are trying to destroy the cultures. Because culture, they're trying to replace your cultural identity with your national identity. American, I'm Russian, I'm Iranian, I'm this. That's not your culture. Right? trust me, here in America, you can have a guy from St. Louis, Missouri, right? Yeah. My culture is not the same as an Amish culture, but yet we're both Americans. Now, if America didn't exist, guess what? I'd just be a St. Louisan, and they'd just be Amish. I'd have my culture. They'd have their culture, and we would interact. But government, which is led by elites and then populated by useless humans who just want to actually be a part of the government because they're usually weak people. Trust me, my dad was one of them. They join the government because the government, you don't have to perform. You don't need performance when you have laws. You don't. Regulations, the departments, the agencies, right? Let's look at how we have had a federal Department of Education since like 1974, I think. Yeah. How's that going for us? Are we smarter? No, because everything the government does, it actually focuses on the lowest performer in the group. My dad worked at the post office. He was probably the laziest of the lazy, but they were all lazy. At least what I saw. That's just the culture of government. And that's just how it is. Now, this new system, it's going to take us 4 or 5, maybe 10 years to really get through all of the mess that we got to get through. But on the other side, it is a completely decentralized system. Now, something I want to throw out there, and I'll wrap this up, guys. What happens whenever the robots are actually built? How long until you have some really smart kid hijack one of the robots and implement open source software that controls the robot? That's what the AI actually did with the robot dog, is it took over the body of the robot dog because it just hacked in. Guys, we're going to see, just like cars, we're going to see these robots roll out. Then you'll have you'll have, hey, get your new Tesla robot, but you operate it. This is going to be wild, guys, but it's going to be good. And when I say good, I really mean entertaining if you look at it from the right perspective. Because life's about to get a lot more fucking interesting. Not good interesting, not bad interesting, just a lot more fucking interesting. So everyone, have a great day. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.